What up, chaps? How's it going? Quick video today. The main reason I'm doing this is to let everyone know that I am, of course, in Facebook jail again. But I'm going to walk you through exactly why. Because it's funny and because it helps make my wider point, which I've always made, which is Jack Doorstop and Mark fucking Zuckertwat should be in fucking jail for perjury. Like, it's blatantly fucking obvious to anyone that reads the Daily News. Like, not the Daily News, the newspapers on a daily basis. Because if you pay even slight attention to that, you're probably well aware that both of them have been in front of Congress, have testified about their honesty and their upright, gentlemanly behaviour, and they've said, we don't lie, we don't censor, we don't have a bias. Like, blatant. Like, honestly, I can't believe either of them can say it with a straight face. Like, I genuinely can't. I read this piece on the Federalist about it. You remember in 2018 when they testified to the House committee? They said they were looking at him for false statements. Like, anyone that's ever been anywhere near Twitter, and this was even in 2018 when it hadn't kicked off massively like it has now, and just provided lorry loads of fucking evidence about just how ridiculous. I mean, he even looks like a soy boy. If you look like that, like a fucking destitute sex offender with a coach ball fired through your fucking nose, you know your political opinions just by looking at them. Like, you don't get like conservative Americans who just look like a fucking yoga instructor. He's just a fucking dickhead. But I can't believe Doorstop. I can't believe the brass neck of him. I cannot believe the brass neck of him. Like, with all the evidence, where you've even got people who are like considered lefties and liberals, like Joe Rogan, you know, the most famous podcaster in the fucking world, and he had him on there, and he sat there with a straight face and says, no, we aren't biased. After there was a big story where 19 out of 20 people that were banned from it, from the platform, any one of these blue ticks that was quite famous were conservatives. Like, it's a well-known fact. And he's a lying bastard. I wouldn't trust his fucking radio, the scruffy twat. It says a House committee that oversees the US telecommunications industry was reviewing whether he lied to Congress. Yes, we know he did. Even Bernie Sanders knows he's a lying bastard. I'm sure he'd admit it. The famous bit was that. I want to start by making something very clear. We don't consider political viewpoints, perspectives, or party affiliation in our policies or enforcement decisions, period. Can you believe it? Like, it's like getting caught in bed with another woman and actually saying it's not what it looks like. It's that bad. In fact, it's worse than that. It's like getting caught with one testicle in two separate prostitutes' mouths, like at the same time. Sort of two manky prozzies playing table tennis with your plums, and you're like wanking yourself silly, and then your missus walks through the door and you go, it's not what it looks like. I was checking them for lumps, and then these two women came in from either side of the building and tripped or something. Like, it's the most brazen fucking bullshit I've ever fucking seen. And they pointed out here, their conduct policy shows that the company's explicitly codified political views into its policies. They say that they will ban anyone if they're talking about transgendered individuals. So Posey Parker got banned because she's a fucking liberal lefty feminist, but she doesn't agree that trans women are really women on account of the fact they've got a pair of fucking coconuts in the pants and a 7-inch veiny clitoris. So they are explicitly and aggressively politically partisan, and everybody knows it. So I just can't believe this scruffy fucking sexual deviant scum. I just can't believe the neck on him. And Zuckertwat's almost as bad. Which brings me to this. So apologies to anyone, Matt, Sarah, Ursula, Mukesh, Snell. There's a few people who've sent me messages and I can't get back to you because I've been banned for the third time in a year for hate speech. And I'm putting that in quotation marks because I'm going to tell you exactly what I said, and then I think it helps to illustrate my point better than all the other YouTubers who have just been sharing those stories about, you know, their algorithms banning all the conservatives and all the stuff we've seen before. Not just the federalist type stuff. Yeah, there's loads of opinion pieces about anti-conservative bias. You've got pieces in the New York Post that have talked about it. There's loads and loads and loads of fucking evidence. Yeah, there's loads. But you don't come to me for actual news shit. If you wanna do that, you can go and read Paul Joseph, listen to Paul Joseph Watson or Sargon or any of the other intellectual chaps who will bombard you with reasonable, well-written pieces that provide sensible, documented evidence of Twitter and Facebook's fucking ridiculous bias to anyone who's fucking one step right of Chairman Mao. No, what you come to my channel for is piss-taking and comical xenophobia. So I'm going to walk you through this. I swear down every word of it. Like I said, I don't tell fucking lies. I don't do it. I'm not interested in selling you anything. Seems like 90% of fucking YouTube just trying to hawk your shit on. And just do it for a crack, for the bants. And I'll tell you exactly what's going on with me. So, starting at the bottom, if it's really far back, it won't let you see what the comment was. When I click on this, it just get nothing. But so June 22nd, so a year ago basically, was my first one. I got a 24-hour ban for hate speech. And I remember exactly what it was. The first 2 times I got fucking busted was for taking the piss out of Americans, and I am one now. So it's even worse, isn't it? It's like Eazy-E using the N-word. My mate Vaden sent me a fucking, I don't know, he shared like a picture of some deep fried, double fried with cheese on it, fucking southern delicacy, and said, hey, look how awesome this looks. And I wrote underneath it something along the lines of, you dirty yank cunts would eat dog shit if they deep fried it and put sprinkles on the cunt. And they banned me for 24 hours and said that's hate speech. I managed to last almost a year, as we see here. So this one was April 2nd, 2020. And it was another America-centric slur. Again, I'm sure it was the same fella, and it was some food product from, I think it was like a restaurant in Nashville that does like, it was like a cocktail, i.e. a Bloody Mary in like a fucking gallon glass. And it came with an entire fucking deep fried chicken like on a skewer stuck in the top of the cunt. And I put something like 75% of Americans are proper fat fuckers who, when they cut themselves shaving, marshmallow foam comes out. It was some sort of quip about fat people. And hate speech banned again. So I was like, fucking hell, you can't say fuck all. So at this point, I changed tactics and thought, I know, if I'm not allowed to take the piss out of the Americans, maybe it's because it's like, you know, Silicon Valley's an American company. I'll take the piss out of our European chums. And then this comment, which you can see, because it was only May 19th, nice and short and sweet, fuck the French. I think that was I read a story about a former Marine called Matt Disney. I follow him on Facebook, and he left a rowing machine near the top of Mont Blanc. I don't know what was going on there, but I just read some story and then seen some French guy on Twitter saying like, the fucking British this or what have you. And I said, fuck the French. GB. I believe it was fuck the French, thumbs up, 2 British flags. And I got a week ban for that. A week. If an Englishman can't take the piss out of the French, what's left? I might as well be dead. Kill me. Like, banter is a good thing. I firmly believe it as well. I honestly think the reason, like, the UK remains the UK and why we stopped stabbing each other in the eye with spears is because we sort of realised that a good way to get around tribalism and war is by just having a bit of bants. Like the English, the Irish, the Scottish, the Welsh rip the fucking piss out of each other. In the military especially, it's constant, unending butchery. You torture the jocks, or especially all the English northern lads, call the jocks fucking frisps. That's fucking repulsive, ignorant Scottish prick. Unless you're Scottish, and then you say, friendly, reliable, intelligent Scottish paedophile. I mean, person. That's what they say. We call them frisps. You take the piss out of them for wearing a skirt. You take the piss out of them because the whole of Glasgow is full of morbidly obese chavs. You take the piss out of them because if fat-bottomed girls really did make the world go round, Scotland basically is responsible for all life on planet Earth. That's what you do. And they rip the piss out of us. It's fine. Again, I always thought European peoples and sort of Anglo peoples were immune to this. Like, the British take the piss out the Americans and call them fat and fucking ignorant. And the Americans take the piss out the British and call them fucking scrawny, pasty, fucking teeth like a witch doctor's necklace, degenerate, drunk, fucking pussies, or whatever you want to call them. It's fine. It's banter. Everyone takes the piss out of each other. We take the piss out the Aussies. We take the piss out the Kiwis. We take the piss out the Canadians. It's what people do for a laugh. But that's why I get so angry with this shit, because 2020 is the year that banter died. It's just gone. You're not allowed to take the piss out of people. Do you think that's going to be good for your brain? You're not allowed to take the piss out of people. Everyone's just going to be a soft as shite, mentally ill, cringing, quivering fucking loser if you can't take the piss out of each other. Do we not think there's going to be negatives to this? It teaches you to be... It's sort of like a working class way of doing what the professional psychologists recommend. You know, they tell you you've got to, like, learn to stand on your own 2 feet, learn to be combative, learn to be persuasive and confident and get out there in the world. Because if you get too mollycoddled as a kid and you don't have to compete for anything, you'll get out-competed when you turn into an adult and you've got to go and attack the workplace. So banter really does, I think, it helps you go from being a complete pussy to getting a bit of confidence about yourself. It helps you, it helps your people skills, your confidence. It's good to take the fucking piss out of people. But we're living in an era where you're not allowed to do it. No wonder everyone's a fucking soft as a second-hand arsehole in this day and age. Fuck me. So, that was my week-long one, May 19th. And then this one, June 12th. So... 4 days ago, and this was in response to my mate Matt shared a video of French soldiers on the back of a ship, and what you can do for target practice when you're at the back of when you're on a navy vessel is you can toss fucking flotation devices off the back of the ship, and you can take some pot shots at them. It's just something embarked forces do when they're on a ship, and it showed a video of some French sailors intending to practice at the back of a navy vessel. And then the daft cunt had a GPMG, that's a general purpose machine gun, that he was obviously about to fire off the back of the ship. And I don't know whether he hadn't put it together properly. Actually, I don't know if it was a GPMG or a Mini-Me. It was a support machine gun anyway. I'm now going to get the fucking weapons trained spotters finding the video and fucking picking me up for it. And he pulls the trigger and the fucking barrel flew off into the ocean because he obviously hadn't put the fucking thing together properly when they'd stripped and assembled the weapons or changed the barrel. I laughed, watched this daft French cunt pull the trigger and the barrel fly into the ocean, and typed, almost on a whim without thinking it, the French are still fucking useless, they're there. Like, because we take the piss out of French soldiers and all the old jokes, yeah, you've all heard them. I think I spanned the day about what, but when we invaded Iraq, we got a great speech off this American general, and he got up and did a few. It was like, have you heard about that new French tank? It's got 15 gears, 14 in reverse. Not that funny, but, it got a chuckle. What do you call it, 100,000 Frenchmen with their hands up? The army. There's fucking loads of them. What do they teach French soldiers in basic training? How to say I surrender in 17 languages. I was just carrying on the age-old stereotype of taking the piss out of French soldiers, and I got banned for hate speech. Hate speech. And I didn't even say, like, I despise the French, let's gas them all. That would be hate speech. Simply taking the piss out of them with old stereotypes that we've always used and always will use. That's hate speech, apparently. So, there we go. Welcome, Matt. Fuck you, Matt. That's what I should say. Fuck you, Matt. You horrible, horrible cunt. Doorstop doesn't like you. Zuckertwat doesn't like you. So I don't fucking like you. That's what that should say. So, there we go. Short video. I just want to walk you through why you won't be hearing from the Angry Bootneck on Facebook for the next 26 days. I can't respond to any messages, so that's why I have been ignoring everyone. And there's some nice, further to what the Federalist have written and the New York Post, there's some nice anecdotal evidence that Twitter and Facebook are biased. Like, there's no way if your average Joe left a quip like that on something, they would get banned for it, for hate speech. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't. What they're doing is they're obviously picking people who they've identified somehow. I don't know whether it's through my Angry Bootneck channel or what the fuck it is, but they basically ping you, decide that you're guilty of wrong thing, and then mercilessly hunt you down like a fucking rat. Because I don't believe that if a normal person types some shit like fuck the French or Americans are fat fuckers, I can't believe you eat deep fried dog shit. I don't believe they ban you for it, and it certainly wouldn't be classed as hate speech, would it? I didn't say the Americans should be wiped off the face of the earth for crimes against culinary etiquette. It was taking the piss. You can't call... I mean, really, are they going to start banning people for, like, calling a Welshman a sheep shagger? Actually, I'll finish with the joke, because I've got a good one about sheep shagging. There's an Eskimo on a camping holiday, and he's sightseeing in the UK, and he's hired a camper van, and he's enjoying himself, driving around, and he's going through Wales, and as he's passing through the valleys, his camper van breaks down, so he pulls into a lay-by, rings a tow truck. Half an hour later, mechanic turns up. He's a Welsh fella, obviously, because he's in the middle of nowhere in Wales. And Welsh fella goes, all right, mate. He goes, I've never met an Eskimo. He says, oh, no, I'm sightseeing, you know. He says, me fucking camper van's broke down. He says, I'll get this for you. And he pops the hood in, or the bonnet, if you're a British citizen. Has a look under, and a couple of minutes later, he says, oh, I know what's going on here. He says, you've blown a seal. And the Eskimo says, well, you shag sheep, you cheeky cunt. Don't know who told me that. Someone in the car. I won't be around for a bit. Doorstop is an arsehole, and Zuckertwat's a cunt. There you go. Oh yeah, and I'll dig out some art, and I'll make a video on Saturday maybe, and pawn off some of my scribblings. Hope everyone's doing all right. Like and share. You know the fucking drill, and I'll see you guys soon. Take it easy.